Okay, I want to say hi again. It's only me, Wushu Richard. How are you doing? Now, yeah, in this video, today's video, it's a nighttime video, and I want to talk about something, okay? And this video is really for young people, and it's basically a question that could be asked. You know, if someone was to ask me, what would I say when it comes to like young people studying? You could be students in school, any age, any school, or you could be in a college, or you could be in a school or a college in your own country or another country. But you know, sometimes it can be especially in your own country, and sometimes this can apply to especially in a foreign country. So we're talking about studying, right? Now in this video, in this particular video I'm speaking, and it's not necessarily giving advice to you, and I'm not the kind of person, I don't like to, as I say, give advice and stuff, as I say, to people, because, as I say, you're entitled to think however you want to think, right? Everybody's got their own mind how you want to think, right? But as I say, the point is, when it comes to school, okay, you hold on a second. Right, I've sat down here to get the few words out. I've just crossed this road, right, and it's night time, and I'm just going to get these few words out, right? What I want to say to you basically is this, right? Basic point. This is basically, it's not like I'm giving advice to a certain person, because who am I? But life is too short. Now, different people have different paths they walk in life, and people can have different, you can call it mistakes, you can call it whatever you want to call it, mishaps. Some things are their fault, some things are other people's fault, or when the situation, you can't control, you know, everything around you and the world around you. But yeah, all I know is myself, I've had a hard time growing up. When it comes to education and my thoughts on education when I was younger, like growing up, I didn't really think much of it. I know that sounds so ignorant, but I didn't think much of it, and I can blame it on myself, yeah, in some ways, but you can also blame it on the culture. I'm from England and the UK, and it's a bit different to, you know, China, where here in China, obviously, you know, education is very, very important, and everybody focuses very much on education. And I can't really say that it's always the same everywhere you go, like everywhere in a country, like it's the same everywhere in China. I can't say that, and I can't say it's the same everywhere in England or the UK, where I come from, in London, South London. But I'm just saying, no, London. But the thing is, like, where I was in London growing up, the people that I was around didn't give a fuck. Excuse me, I don't want to say that, but the people that I was around, most people didn't really care or seem to care at all about that. You know? They didn't think about education. The people I mean, there were students in the schools who did study harder, and there were, you know, teachers who like pushed things on, but it weren't in the culture. In terms of the culture that I was around, in terms of that, the way people were in my surroundings, let's say my circle of whatever the fuck you want to call it, excuse my language, excuse me for swearing, but I'm just saying, right, it weren't around me, it weren't, you know, yeah, around me like that. It weren't like, you got to study hard, you know, you got to do this and that for your life, for your future, you know, things. It was like, I went through a lot of trouble growing up, as I say, getting bullied and all kinds of things, and hassle and other things in my life. It was just really hard for me. That's the main reason that really affected that. Fear and a lot of things. But what I want to say is, okay, I've ended up living in China. I've had to come to China because I couldn't make it so far in my own country. And it's not like me walking around on the streets in China and people look at you like, oh, you're a bum, you know, this guy's a bum, he comes from abroad, England, he couldn't make it in his own country. That's what some people have this impression. I'll say some people have this impression of foreigners. And it's not like I don't know that and I can't accept it. I mean, there's certain things. But one thing I can't accept is laziness. I do know that people make mistakes, and you can forgive people for not understanding certain things. And you can also say that, you know, like, there's different reasons why certain things can come into being. But I know, and there's even for being lazy. But one thing I can't stand, okay, is laziness. That's one thing I don't like, right? When people are lazy, when it comes to something that they know, or they say that they know and they think is important and they want to do good with it. Like they know their studies, they've got to study hard, or they've got to, whatever it might be, someone who has an addiction or something. And I know people with addictions and things like that are hard. People find it very hard to like give up their drinking or whatever it is. Some people have this problem. Luckily, it's not me, happily. But you know what I'm saying? The mind is the mind, and people have certain ways, you know, they be and express from their mind into their action. And the problem is like, you know, still I can't understand. I can't respect and accept it like it to be that. You know what I mean? That hard for someone to like just say that they know what's right, they know what's wrong. Please excuse me. I need to stand up now. I'm walking with this guy shouting. This guy's shouting, so you can't hear me talking. But what I'm saying is, right. What I mean is, like, these you know, if someone says that they know something's important, okay, and they know what's important and what's right and what's wrong and what's bad for them or whatever, or bad for life, and they don't make a change or they don't make an effort, and they continue to be lazy or to make the wrong choices, that confuses me. So I don't respect that. Obviously I can't, right? It's different to, as I say, when you talk about education, like a young kid making a choice to study hard or not. If he's surrounded by people that don't give a fuck, excuse my language, adults, teachers, parents, family, you know, and all of his friends don't give a don't give a damn, you know, because then he's going to learn from the culture and he's going to think what's right or wrong, obviously, from what the most of what he's seeing around him. He's going to pick up that. But what I'm saying is you know, you've got to know yourself. And me personally, myself, I know, and I always did know, when I was young in school, I wasn't the best student. I wasn't the brightest student, but I was kind of smarter in certain areas. I was never good at maths, really, and that, yeah. Partly, or I could have gone further if I wasn't getting bullied and harassed and certain things. I was better in the English classes and stuff like that, you know. But I'm just saying, like, the thing is, you know, and basically, as I say, I weren't a bad kid. I wasn't so distracted so much from my own laziness. I could have been at times, and I was a bit slow learning at times, but I could learn certain things. And I did have somewhat an interest, and I was certainly able to focus, and I was polite to my teachers and stuff, because there's no reason to be impolite. It wasn't in me to be impolite to people. And my parents always taught me what was taught, you know, even said about expressed, you know, you've got to be polite to people and teach people things. But these things that I understand, you know, and I always have understood morality and what's wrong and right as such, you know. You just understand. If someone's rude to you, you feel bad about it. You feel hurt. If someone hits you or punches you, you feel pain. So I can't understand why a human being can't understand that. I knew that my actions are my own. Other people's actions are theirs. My mind and what I'm thinking is my own, and what they're thinking is theirs. So it was never a case of, you know, confusion with that. What I am and what I'm able to do. It wasn't a case of my confidence and fear or anything like that, you know, that was like distracting me. And I never looked down on myself. I never felt so bad about myself and looked down on myself like I'm no good, or I'm lower than these people. Nobody respects me, so I feel bad. Or these people are bullying me, whether they're kids in my class when I was at school, or whether they were teachers or my parents or whoever, any adults, I'm saying, anyone, if they didn't understand me, or if they was very like negative towards me in some way, or seemingly, I never felt bad, like there was something wrong with me. It's not a case of not being humble, it's not a case of having an ego, thinking that I'm always right, but it was definitely a case of, you know, just being aware of myself and knowing that this person has a feeling about a certain feeling towards me in a certain way they treat me. The outside forces towards me were done of their own choice. I was myself. And did I respect people? Yes. Did I want good? Yes. And this is how I've always been. I've never taken drugs. I don't drink alcohol, and I don't smoke, and I don't take drugs, and I never have. I would never self-harm. Some people self-harm. They try to commit suicide. That seems so, to me, it's shallow. That's all I'm going to say. My personal take, because No matter how, because I know people that have tried to commit suicide or have made wrong choices through the pressures in life. rather than see the bad for what it is. The bad things are the bad things, you know. And all this stuff is just mistakes, you know. And it's all making you feel bad, you know what I mean? So it's like, you know, rather than dealing with it, rather than trying to seek good, they just give in to that thing. And ultimately that is the end, you just give in to it. And what's the reason for it? If you know you feel bad, if you know you're not happy, if you know you're full of pressure, stress and anger, and you know, there's no reason to feel bad, there's no reason to feel that you can't beat this thing, so you're no good, you know, you've got no ability to deal with this thing that's attacking you. Even if this thing is a powerful force, it's something that's really beyond your ability, something that's beyond your ability, or seemingly even in that time, it's no reason for you to destroy yourself. There are people in this world that are bigger and stronger than us physically by nature. There are people that learn things faster. There are things that we find difficult to learn or develop abilities and skills just because of who we are and what we are. A pile of cells and atoms, blood and bone, in the animal, the flesh that you are, that we are, you know, as human beings. And so there's nothing wrong with you. You was born as however you are. When you're born, you have the face that you was born with. Some people have plastic surgery and all kinds of operations and things to change themselves because they're not satisfied. To me personally, I can't understand this as my own take. I don't understand it. I would never feel the need to change myself for the world. I don't care about wearing a certain kind of fashion or speaking a certain way to please others, on the outside. It's not about being lazy, what people will tell you, lazy or being ignorant of the society and that. No, if you're ignorant towards yourself and you're not following nature and reality, there's no hope for you. Everything you learn will be shallow. Any way you be in life, any way you talk, any way you think, whatever you learn, and whatever message you put out will all be shallow and empty if you don't have the true self underneath it all. And to find the true self, you need to understand your thoughts and where they come from, and what it's all about, and what you want in life, and why you want it, and why. Question things. Don't be afraid if you can't find the answer for the next one, the next step. But always try to enjoy the process of thinking and not feel oppressed against, you know, thinking what you want to think and question what you want to question. Because that makes a person smart, having questions. That's a true learner. It's not always that in a school you can learn everything, yeah, but your mind's got to be the best teacher, and you've got to think and open your mind to learn more. You know, I'm very sorry it's going to get very dark down this street, okay, but you can hear what I'm saying, okay? If you can hear my voice, that's good. I'm sorry it will get dark. I'm going to walk around this corner now, but you can listen to my voice as I talk to you, okay? Now, I want to say, basically, so when it comes to learning and the way you learn, you know, and your attitude towards learning, let's say in a school environment, that's the first basic point I started talking on. That's what we're trying to mainly cover in this video, as I say. Okay, but basically, you know, as I say, the first thing, the main thing, okay, is when it comes to your attitude at school, okay, or college, anywhere you are, if you're in your country or in another country, anywhere you may be, I'm very sorry, it's very dark now, I know it's very dark, but you can hear my voice. Yeah. What I'm trying to say to you is, the point is this, what do I think? I think if someone's in school or in college, okay, you're in there for a reason. Everything we learn can help us. And everything we learn is also a thing that we can question, a thing that we can use later on, the knowledge and the information. It's all information that you're getting. It's not to say that you're programmed like a robot, but you get this information. With this information, it's a key. Either way, okay? It's a key. Or it's a tool that you can use in many different ways. You may have different ideas about something you learn, and you can take that and use this information in a different way later on, but you can use the basic information to help you in life, if you're going to be able to study and get certificates, let's say in this society, you know, it's made up, we can take the certifications and, you know, all this stuff we get from schools and colleges, and we can, you know, it will help us in society and getting a job and all the rest of it. And you may not need to travel so far or find such difficulties in finding, let's say, a different job or something, you know, or some work later on. And in terms of you may not have to run halfway across the world to another country to better your life, let's say, in any form of the way. I've had to come here for different reasons. I've come to China to live, as I say. Obviously, I'm married to a Chinese woman, and my life's Chinese. My wife and her family is Chinese, so I'm living here, and I'm happy here. But I'm just saying, in terms of work and everything, the way my life's turned out is I've had to come abroad and for work to survive and things. You know, I'll be honest and admit in a lot of ways that the work, you know, and the survival part is a big, massive part of this. Now, what I want to say is, no matter where you want to live, the knowledge is going to be useful, and certifications and stuff. So obviously, what's right? Yeah. So what I'm going to say to you is I would advise people, if I had to advise people, if I had to speak my mind about certain ideas about certain things, definitely yes. Studying is the way to go. Gaining some knowledge and gaining some real, formal education. You know. So for kids, you know, kids in school, children, young people in school, and also young adults in colleges and universities also. You know, excuse me. That knowledge is gonna, you know, you really need to get it. You need to understand why you're there and why you're learning and why you're in there. And if you're there for by your own choice, or is it because your parents chose, whatever it is, you know, you understand the different reasons that you're doing different things. Understand the choices and stuff. You know, understand the different reasons and you made the different choices, and understand what it's all about. Now, what I want to say is, when you're in that situation, there's no reason to stop, bow down, take a step back, or be lazy in the classroom and be lazy. I don't care what negative forces you have against you, be it your parents, family members, friends who are so-called friends. They may even be good friends, but they may just have a different attitude towards, or different interests towards certain things. Now, I know you want to get along well with your friends and stuff, but there's no reason, you know, to throw your shit in the gutter, you know, throw your life in the gutter, or throw a certain chance of learning something in the gutter. Throw it away, you know, and waste a chance. And what I'm trying to say is, you know, there's no reason for you to take it like a negativity from fellow classmates, other teachers, even negative teachers, even teachers that are negative, or just in their personality or how they are towards you, and then bullies in school, also bullies in any way. I'm saying, like in either your classmates or the bullies in your class, or negative, you know, thuggish, rough type bullies, and whoever it may be in a class, be it in a school or a college or whatever. Okay, because you get bullies and nasty type people in all walks of life. Okay, yeah. So you know, yeah. So what I'm trying to say, the point is, they should not be able to affect you. And what my attitude is this, and what I want to say is this: it's not even as simple as like me telling you about studying hard. It's not even me telling you to study hard, or like to not waste your chance to learn and all of this stuff, because you may have heard all this kind of speech before. And for a young person learning growing up, even adults sometimes, we don't even know what learning is, to value it when we're in a certain situation, because you don't see it as a certain opportunity, and you're not even thinking about it. You're thinking about something else. Your mind's elsewhere, thinking about other things. But what I'm going to say is, we do have an attitude. We have to focus and learn to be patient and focus on being aware of the inner and the outer. You know, so what it's all about, what we're doing. Know where you are. if you won't remember anything else from what I'm saying here, know where you are at any time. And then what you got to know is you got to question yourself. If someone's not being nasty towards you, if someone's being positive, if someone's being, friendly, let's say positive, trying to help you, let's say, or trying to, if someone's, let's say this way, maybe you don't see the good, right? You don't see the good, but you should try to see the level of bad, the negativity. Let's say you're a student, right? You're in a school, in a college, and you see negativity, like you see, it's a boring class, you don't want to study, it's very hard. Maybe your teacher is a little bit strict sometimes, and that can make you upset. But I'm just saying, if, you're really upset and you see it as a bad thing, it's boring, it's hard, all the rest of it, your parents having a go at you, your classmates are one way or another also. But what I'm trying to say is, you should look at the level of negativity. You're not going to be there all day. And here's the thing, is anyone actually physically attacking you? No. Is it really like a bad thing? No, they're just trying to teach you something. So if I was you, I would not be negative towards this place and this situation if you're in that situation. You're in a classroom. Even if you don't like the subject or it's hard or you have no interest in it, and the teacher may not be very strict, but they may be like not super friendly either. But still, I'm just saying, if they're really friendly and really helpful towards you, that's a good thing and a bonus. There's no reason to be negative, though, towards your teacher or be ignorant. It's very rude to be talking over people and making noise and not looking at people and looking the other way and doing other things and just showing that you don't care. Talking over people, playing around, looking at your phone, doing other things. That's very rude for children, for kids, or for college students. It's very rude to be on your phone, looking at other stuff, eating, sitting with your legs hanging out like that, laying on a table. It's really rude. It's just disgusting. You would not do that at your friend's place. If someone come to your house and you saw somebody doing that, and you were talking to somebody, and the other person was looking the other way and talking and making noise and making fun, and they didn't care, and you were trying to help somebody, how would you feel? And you may say, well, no, it depends, you're not going to get paid money for it. The teacher's getting paid money. Yeah, the teacher's getting paid money working, but the teacher's still trying to help you. And we need to get along well in our families at home, and we need to get along well in the society and whatever we're doing. We have to get along well. We have to show respect to whatever situation we're in. And if you're a student in school and you're learning from a teacher, there's a reason you're there. If not, then you shouldn't be there. And if you say that, well, you've been forced to go there by your parents, well, you've got to think about the reason why. It may not even be the best school or whatever, this or that, education, but I'm just saying it's something, and it is there to help you. If your parents didn't care about you, they wouldn't send you to school. For the most, but usually, right, they won't send you for that. Think about it this way, right? Talk about things with your parents. Communication goes further. Try and make a friend. Try and make human communication with people. This is the same for people, adults at work too, and all levels, on whatever job you're doing, whatever level, position, work, school, college, family. All people need to communicate. It's not just a levels thing. It's a human, normal nature thing. If you're in a situation together, there must be a reason. Talk to your parents about it if you're in school and you don't know what it is. You'll see that they want good for you. Now, fair enough, you can only learn on whatever level you can and take in whatever knowledge you can and do however well you will in school in terms of marks and things. But if you're going to do well in life, you need to get that understanding and be honest with yourself and be honest with certain things and get a certain point about certain things. Understand various things, okay, various points. So what I'm basically saying to you is, that's the basic point there, as I see it. That's how I feel, and that's how I see it, There's no need to be lazy, and in a negative way that is so expressively lazy too, I mean, you may be sitting there thinking, this is so boring, I don't want to learn anything, and that's damn well up to you in the end of the day. You won't benefit like that. Or you may be trying to some level, you may be trying to learn, but at the same time it may be very difficult and very hard for you because people learn on different levels. But the same thing, and the main point is, okay, you're in this place with people, and if you've always got the chance to ask questions, you've always got the chance to think about things, communicate with them, and study from people and look at other things, So what I'm trying to say is, you know, when you're in the situation, understand why you're there. And then even if people are negative around you, you are the center of your own universe. You should be in control of your actions, and how you be positive in yourself. Don't let this thing bring you down, and in the end of it, you're just going to waste a whole day or waste an hour here or there and just get nothing from it. Even if the people that are there are negative that you're around, and the people that are getting you in this situation as you see it. But you should be in control. You're in this situation. And you'll learn whatever you can. You'll do whatever you can. You'll practice to the best of your ability, whatever that'll be, with your interest and everything, fair enough. But give things a try. You know, ask questions. Get something from this. And if not, then you shouldn't be there. You should not be in a situation just literally hating everything or being fed up and being hateful and rude towards everybody, and even in your attitude, like, oh, fuck this, excuse my language, but fuck this, fuck that, fuck the teacher, fuck everybody. You can't be doing that. You can't be like that. You don't hate your life and hate everything, you know, like it's some kind of a problem with everybody else, you know. It's just not work. It's not the point. That's not going to help you in your life in the end of the day. You need to be more positive, like, even if these people are not positive as such, to some degree, you've got to be like, well, I'm going to get something from this. I'm going to be positive. And, you know, and at the end of the day, if it's your parents, they might be a bit strict, but they want something good for you. They put you in school. And if it's your teachers and they're strict and all the rest of it and they don't really care, but they are there. And you can learn, you can try and, there's, at least you don't need to be rude. And if it's nice teachers and polite parents, or anyone who's polite and helpful, trying to be helpful or polite towards you, there's no reason at all to be negative towards them or rude and just expressive. And even if you're not rude, like being abusive or shouting out, still, you don't have to be ignorant, looking the other way, doing other things and all that, because you wouldn't do it you shouldn't be doing that at a relative's house, and you shouldn't be doing that at anyone's house, right, or at home, and you shouldn't be doing that in school. And for God's sake, we shouldn't be doing it in society or in a job or anything, and to any age, to anyone. I'm going to stop this here. Thanks for watching. That's how I feel about it. Don't be lazy and negative as a person, expressively lazy and negative too. That won't get you anywhere. And if you're in a situation where you can learn something, try and learn something. Fuck it, give it a try. You know what I mean? We've got a question it. So I don't know. I still don't understand. What does it mean? What? Even if the answers they give you, multiple answers, you still don't understand, but you're still thinking, you're training your mind to think. And it's okay to have your own opinion about things too. But take the information. Later on it will help you. And if you can understand a bit of what they're doing, what they're sharing in there, good. And then you can always express more later on, and you can add your own, all the rest of it. Life is free. You can do a lot of things. Just pick up a few bits and pieces along the way, and that will help you out along the way. Talk to you again soon. That's what I feel anyway. Thanks for watching this.